another question here, okay, with the same details. Let's answer question number 160. It reads, assume that in 2022 the earning gap between a male and female self-employed workers was 2.5 times. Please observe, okay, in 22 there is a gap actually set between this one male and female self-employed workers, okay, was 2.5 times here. And so understand this way. So here I can tell in the year 2022 there is something about a male and something about a female here, okay, and he says this one, the gap actually is equal to how much? It is 2.5 times here, okay. So suppose if I'm taking this one, the earnings actually for females, if I take it as x here, the gap should equal how much? It is 2.5x, correct. He says this one, the gap between the male and female self-employed workers was 2.5 times here. So gap is 2.5x here. So it implies for the male workers, it should equal how much? It is equal to 3.5x, right? Okay. This is what we know in 2022 here. Next one, in 23 here, the gap increased to 2.8 times, okay. So here we know this one, in the year 2023 here, the gap increased to how much? 2.8 times. Had it this been y here, so here I can tell it is 2.8 y here, okay. So now this becomes how much? It is equal to 3.8 y here, right? Okay, that's what we know. Question is asking, what is the percentage increase in the earnings earnings gap for self-employed workers from 22 to 23 here, okay. So now the question arises here, okay, something, a relation between x and y here, that's what we are supposed to find. Okay, one more point, one more detail I want to look for this one. See here, what is the question asking? Percentage increase in the earnings gap, okay, earnings gap for self-employed workers from 22 to 23. So it is this one here, earnings gap, okay, it is this one. How much is the percentage increase? That's what we need to find. To find this one here, there is some relation between x and y that should be established here, right? Okay, now let us look into the detail here, where, okay, do we have a relation between this, okay, these two items here, okay, self-employed in 23, like that we are looking for. Please understand, okay, self-employed, we have this one in this paragraph here, okay. Now see here, it reads, okay, in 23 male self-employed workers earned 2 times that of a woman, okay. In the question also it's the same thing, okay. Now okay, now with the same details here, let's answer another question here. See question number 116. It reads, assume that in 2022 the earnings gap between male and female self-employed workers was 2.5 times, okay. So what we know here is, in this 2022 here, that gap which we have, okay, between that male and a female here, we know it is equal to how much? It is 2.5 times here, that it is given, okay. Again it reads, in 2023 the gap increased to 2.8 times here, okay. So here we have this one, in 2023 the gap increased to 2.8 times, okay. 2.8 times. What does it mean? There is a comparison between the male this one earnings here and the female earnings. The gap actually is equal to 2.8 times. Okay, like that. Now it reads, what is the percentage increase in the earning gap for self-employed workers from 22 to 20? The gap is increasing by what percentage here? Okay, the value which we have for 2022 is how much? 2.5. The value which we have for 2023 is how much? It is 2.8 here. So what is the percentage increase? Okay, so that percentage increase here, we can calculate it like this. It is 2.8 minus 2.5. Okay, this is the increase in that, okay, gap here. Okay, divided by how much? It is 2.5 and then into 100 here. Correct now? This comes how much? It is 0.3 divided by 2.5 and then into 100 here. Okay, this is 3 by 25 and then into 100, which equals how much? Okay, it is equal to 12%. That is the required answer. Option A is the answer to this question.